All right, let's get back into this thing. Welcome into the Barber Shop. It is a victory Monday here on the Barber Shop, my man. Whoo, it always feels good to get that dub. It always feels good to get that dub. G. Bush in the building. Welcome to the Barber Shop. As promised, I let you guys know on Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. I said, listen, if you guys get over 1,000, if you get over 1,000 likes, I'm giving away 2 more hoodies. Impromptu, 2 more of these hoodies. Let me get them out. Let me get it. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I told you. I told you. I let it be known. I let it be known. We got over 1,000 likes on the UCSS episode today. We did. I checked it out. And so I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of the people. Here you go. Brand new Kool-Aid Mafia Orange Crush out, ready to go. I'm giving out 2 of these boys. You see it. The Orange Crush is in the building. I'm giving out 2 of these joints. And guess what? People wanted to know, G. Bush, how come I don't know if the dog's on there? Why the dog ain't on there? As you can see, the dog is on the sleeve. Orange Crush is available right now. I'm giving 2 away of these. Keep it locked, and I will tell you how you can get the very limited Orange Crush Cleveland Browns Kool-Aid Mafia shirt, because we are drinking the Kool-Aid. Welcome on into episode of the Barbershop. You see what it is. Browns destroyed the Cardinals 27-0. Deshaun Watson 19-30, 290 yards, 2 TDs, 107.5 rating. Browns defense gets 7 sacks and only allowed 58 total yards. So this was a awesome game all the way around. But coming up, I need to figure something out, because even after this game, watching a bunch of social media, I got the clips here, the homework. A lot of people were still not satisfied, still not really happy with Deshaun Watson, what he brought to the table. Still a lot of comments in the beginning. And you know what? We're gonna have to drill down on this, man, because let me just keep it real with you, man. A lot of people say that they be about something, but they be fraudulent, don't they? So a lot of people that say they stand on principles, but they be lying. And they think that they can get away with certain things. But I'm going to give you the receipts today. You might be mad at me. This might not be the episode for you. You might want to just come back when G. Bush is talking about regular stuff. But I got a couple of receipts from people that'll show you this Deshaun Watson situation is quite funny. It's funny. I'm starting to not think it's not about his shoulder or how well he plays. I'm starting to think it's some outside stuff going on here, people. You tell me if I'm crazy. We'll get into that as well. Browns defense dominant. Browns defense was dominant. Is the Browns defense back in business? I know that there was some situations going on with the Cleveland Browns where against the Colts they had gave up a bunch of points. They barely won that game. They go to Seattle, give up 17 points in the first quarter. Also, you look at that later in that game after the turnover of PJ Walker. Guess what? They kind of let him walk down the field. Cleveland Browns allow 58 freaking yards. Are you serious? These dudes are back in business. Are they back in business? And can they replicate this against the Baltimore Ravens? We'll talk about that. And we'll get to the chances of the Browns beating the Baltimore Ravens, right? Browns play Ravens for a shot at first place in the AFC North. That game is going to be on the road at Baltimore. Did some of the stuff that you saw? Did some of the stuff you saw from Deshaun Watson make you believe that they have a better chance of winning? Is the defense back on track with this? We'll take some of your comments and questions as always. Super Chat is always available and open. We're going to try to get to as much as Q&A as we can in your comments. We're going to try to get a bunch of comments littered on the screen. I'm going to be asking for feedback. So I appreciate you guys being ready to go. First question that I'm going to throw out to the chat. You guys can go ahead and put it in there. What grade did you give Deshaun Watson? What grade did you give Deshaun Watson on his first game back? And let me know and give me the grade and why. Don't just say grade and no. I want to have a conversation. Grade and why, and that's the first break. We'll take those comments and we'll do that as well. So looking for some interaction on this show as always. And don't forget, you can tweet at me at gbush91. Make sure you subscribe to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, and make sure you do that in a hurry. Let's get right off into this thing. I was a little taken aback by the Deshaun Watson hate, and I threw this out on Twitter. I threw this out on Twitter. Let me pull it up. And I was just asking people, right? I go, this is after the game, right? Browns won at 27-0. And we had trolls disguised as Browns fans still trying to push this Watson sexual predator trope. Reality is no matter how much you dislike him, his family is set for life and will be the Browns quarterback for the foreseeable future. So you simply have to move on. Now, for me, when I come at it from this standpoint, the most alarming thing about this is the alarming thing about the whole this tweet and things like that is that people coming still dropping the sexual predator line, still dropping those lines in here, and for me, it's corny. For me, I've been looking at this situation and I'm like, I wonder if these people keep the same exact energy, because I know they don't. Because I got the receipts to prove you don't keep the same exact energy. See, what tells me is there's a lot of people that either never really wanted to get Deshaun Watson because they like Baker Mayfield, or they never really wanted to make a move or give up any draft picks. So now they look for anything to justify and validate the way that they think. For me, I've been here Browns fan my whole career. When they drafted Baker Mayfield, I supported Baker Mayfield. When Baker Mayfield up through his ups, his downs, his sideways moves, at the end of the day, I didn't root for Baker Mayfield to play horribly because Baker Mayfield was on my team. I don't root against my team just to prove a point. My question to people is, it's either the predator language or it's the $250 million. And something tells me the $250 million isn't a thing either. Because there's been quarterbacks like Joe Burrow. There's been quarterbacks like Kyler Murray. There's been quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts who've come over and got more money than he did. But it's the guarantee, G. Bush. Okay, so when you get past that, when you get past the guarantees and all that good stuff, we come back to the sexual predator trope. And by the way, it's not just from regular people. It's from people who got a mic in their hands. The last time I checked in the United States, when you go to court, they either tell you if you're guilty or you're not. Right? I could have swore 2 grand juries said he wasn't. But we still got people that want to throw the predator trope out here. So you know what? I'm kind of tired of it. So here, I'm going to give you ammunition that when people hit you with these talking points and don't want to watch the Browns, don't want to watch the games, they just want to see the whole thing burn down. Here's your ammunition. So I threw this out on Twitter. And just to show you, I put a couple other tweets up here just so you guys can understand these are the replies I got. So we'll throw these in here. And I appreciate anybody who did send that because your replies count. Mr. Ferguson says, no, you could be a Browns fan and not a Watson fan. Doesn't mean I'm hoping he fails, but it doesn't mean I'll ever think he's a good dude either. He does, however, need to play like he's worth the picks and the cash. Otherwise, the team is screwed. I hear that all the time. I really do. Do you hear the situation where the team is screwed? I mean, are they? Who'd you draft? We didn't hear that. When you miss on any quarterback and the quarterback ain't the guy, guess what? You take a step back. We've done that for 40 years. Why is he acting like the team ain't screwed now? If the team wasn't screwed, if the team's screwed, if he don't work out, it was the same thing for Johnny Manziel. It was the same thing for Brandon Weeden. It was the same thing for Baker Mayfield. If you miss on the first round quarterback, you are screwed. My problem is you could be a Browns fan and not a Watson fan. I don't see how that happens. You can say I don't personally like him. I don't like the things he's accused of. But listen, let me ask you a question. There's a lot of people that are accused of a lot of things in this world, and we don't take a stance based on accusations. We do it a lot. We actually remember the Indians pitcher Bauer? He just came out and said, look, hey, this is what's happening. He was raked over the coals. He was called every bad thing in the world. Now, I think the respectable thing would be that if you said something on Bauer's name, Trevor Bauer's name, you should issue an apology on air. But we won't get it. Same thing about, what is it, the punt guy? The guy from Arizona State? Turns out the Arizona State kid wasn't even in the vicinity. But he got screwed too because somebody had allegations. And here's the thing. It's not just athletes. It's all across the board. Like, we'll continue on. Honestly, I think it's pretty contradicting that when he has had multiple bad games in a row, Browns fans scream that the sample size isn't big enough. Then when he has one good game against a terrible opponent, sample size doesn't matter. Browns fans yell he's him and and say he's so great. Let me get this. Let me see. Let me see this. So I think Deshaun Watson done played I think Deshaun Watson done played 11 games or something with the Browns. I believe, let me get this correct. I believe Baker Mayfield has played over 50 games. I think it's funny that people still put the cape on and talk about Baker Mayfield all the time. And he has played 50 games for the Cleveland Browns. So when we talk about sample size, do you know Deshaun Watson hasn't even played more games than Brandon Wheat? So when you talk about he's played multiple bad games, I mean, Brian Hoyer had more games. These are the guys who have more games than Deshaun Watson. I'm trying to figure it out here. All right, so he has 11. We'll continue on. Make a difference. Here you go, my sir. I have to, LOL. I have to accept him in all his glory as a sexual predator. I won't move on, G. Bush. I don't think you want to come across like this. I'll cheer for my team. I'll play my damn money for each week. I hope him and his family are okay, and he is not a predator. I didn't show you the rest of that. But here's what we want to get to make a difference. This really brings me. What do you mean I don't want to come across like this? Keep that in mind as we continue to move forward. Okay, keep that move. Cleveland against, even if you think the majority of claims were just clout chasing or money chasing, the fact that he interacted with so many massage therapists over the amount of time tells us that he wasn't just doing it purely for health reasons. As you can see, you get a sample size. And I mean, this tweet got how many views? Let's take a look at it. Tweet got 36,000 people saw it, right? This is the majority of what I see underneath from Browns fans. This is what they bring up. But B-Town says something very good. I like this. Folks say, I can't root for a sexual predator on a football team, yet you've voted for one in the highest office in the land. And this is where they tell you, G. Bush, just keep it to football. Just keep it to sports. Don't bring any other thing in, because here's the thing. They'll rake you over the coals when it comes to sports. They can comment on everything and they want to when it comes to sports, but don't you dare get into any other places. You stay in your place. You better not say nothing. This is why, you're treading in. I got the receipts. I'm sorry. I told you I had to tell the truth because there's a lot of B-Town. I see that. I see that you can run for the highest office in the entire world. But they ain't got that same energy until it comes to somebody making. I'm sorry. There's a lot of parallels. Well, let me show you how many people believe in that. You can't vote. You can't root for a sexual predator. You better not do it. I'm sorry. 74 million people did, according to CNN. This right here is Ohio. Right here. Right here. I think this is Ohio. Right here. 5.8 million people in Ohio did the same thing. I'm wondering if some of those individuals do not like Deshaun Watson, but were okay voting. Sorry. This is why you don't get primetime opportunity, G. Bush. You tell the truth too much. Don't you leave that up there too long. It's going to burn people. And unlike Deshaun Watson was never convicted of anything. 2 grand juries. I got to keep saying, and this is a reason that you got to be pinpoint accurate when you come at people, because you're going to have to just say you don't like somebody. Don't give me all this virtue signaling. Don't you stand on no soapbox. I might get 16 views on this. I don't care. Truth is truth. At the end of the day, let's talk about what it looks like when you are convicted of something. I'm just saying, maybe you don't look at the New York Times. I'm just, A Manhattan jury on Tuesday found, you know who, liable of sexually abusing and defaming E. Jean Carroll and awarded her $5 million in damages. More than a dozen women have accused Mr. Trump of sexual misconduct over the years, but this is the only allegation to be affirmed by a jury. I'm waiting for the numbers to go down. You see, sometimes you have to do this because people will tell you you can't talk about certain things like that because you need to stay in your place. It ain't like it's inflammatory. The only reason politics are inflammatory to people is because you have to stand and affirm what you believe in and what you don't. And what I find is there's a lot of people, 74 million, some of them probably talking about Deshaun Watson, who have no problem supporting politicians, clergy, officers, anybody when it comes to whether or not they can identify with them. At the end of the day, if you want to get on the soapbox, if you want to get on that and you want to move that way, maybe you might want to go talk to some of your buddies. I don't know if you voted for it. That's your prerogative. Do what you want. But as I digress, and as I get to it, the goalpost is moving on a lot of people. And you may not like what I say, but I challenge you to give me something that I was incorrect about. When it comes to Deshaun Watson's play on the field, I'm just as critical of him as anybody else that played. Because at the end of the day, that's what I care about. What did you do on that field? At the end of the day, I'm forced to trust what the judicial system says. And what did they say? But that don't matter to some people. It just matters that you were accused of it and you can keep saying it forever. Well, here's what I can say. Deshaun Watson, whether you like it or not, people, he's going to be your quarterback because you can't get rid of him. Like it or not, people, you may not think he's worth $230 million, but in business, you are worth what they paid you for. There's all kind of people that are in my industry today that I don't think should have got no money, no opportunities. I think there's some people in my industry that are hacks, that lie, that make up stories, that have no integrity, that have no journalistic principles, and they make millions every single day. But do I stand up here and get on the pulpit and talk about what they're making? Do I stand up here and say, this person makes $5 million? How come he got? No, I don't. You know what I do? I handle what I can handle. I do the stories I need to do, and I print them and I talk about them. And y'all can like it or not, but at the end of the day, 3 years ago, before I started doing this, I was the first person talking about that type of stuff. They used to tell us to shut up and dribble, and that was acceptable 4 years ago. Stay in your place. Talk about what you know. How you gonna say talk about what I know? How many degrees I got? I follow this religiously. I'm being informed about what's going on in my country. What you talking about? Shut up and dribble. But they used to let people get away with that. Not so much now. So my thought process is this. I encourage people out there. I encourage each and every person out there that when people come to you with that nonsense, it ain't your job to shut up and just play coy. How about you rebuttal with some information? I thought that was funny because it's a line of athletes that have been accused for crazy stuff. Duke lacrosse. Duke lacrosse. Some people got screwed forever for false allegations. And the bad part about this, as we get to our next subject, is the bad part about it is the people that's up here making these tweets, they don't care nothing about no assault. They use these different little talking points to make themselves feel better and to make them feel like, okay, well, at least I could justify not liking them by saying this. And that goes for everybody else. If Brady Quinn want to keep getting on air talking about it, why you think I'm not going to talk about it? I already told y'all, I'm not trying to go to nobody's, no. I'm not trying to get hired. I'm not trying to be around here messing around, going to cookouts. I'm not trying to be a director of operations. I'm not trying to be none of that. So when I come on here, I talk about things that I've studied, things that I'm interested, things that I'm passionate about, and I do not like BS. And the fact that people like 19 Action News is sitting up here and they got a press conference and you got troll comments just scrolling at the bottom, troll after troll after troll. Come on, you're out of pocket. These guys be out of pocket and your talking points are lame. If you thought that, hey, by the way, if character counted like that, like y'all been saying it did, you gonna try to tell me that character is the reason? The character? Really? After we've seen the nasty messiness from coach after coach after coach who still get jobs after they do nasty, crazy, unethical stuff. Tell me about no integrity. Integrity only counts when you're talking about somebody that you don't identify with. It's a problem with y'all. I digress. Let's keep it moving. Let me see if I got some hate mail in here. Here we go. Let me see what we got here. So we'll get to that. Let's get to we asked, besides the trolls, we asked, how did you feel about Deshaun Watson? And somebody just donated a member. Who was it? Did you donate that? We got to get to it. Did you donate that? Let me find it. Terrell Glenn just signed up for a new member. It was probably down there. We'll get to it when we get to it. All right. Let's see. All right. Deshaun Watson grades. B. Ray Smith. B. Drowning in Music gave him a C. Nicole D gave him a B. B minus. Nicholas B minus. KW _ Outdoors is a B. Jordan is a C plus. Hey, Martin Bossard, B minus, C plus. I was around that same area. I wouldn't hate on it if it was. C plus, still slow at reads. Okay. B plus, C. He can always improve, and a D carried the game, of course. Let's see. G Rose says, I said B with flashes of A, so B plus honestly is the first time game back, getting up to speed and more reps. He looks more fluid, but a B plus because of the impressive deep throws. I like that. Let's get a few more in here. KSK Sports says solid B, 107.5 rating, 2 touchdowns, and 3 absolute dots to Amari Cooper in the game. I totally agree with the dots he was throwing. B plus, B minus. Cleveland J said it looked like it was supposed to. That makes sense. What we expected some BS, but then he gave us damn. How can we cry about that? I get Rashawn Gilbert, B minus. His I think that says his bad feet were never really set. His back foot was never really set on certain throws. I'm pretty sure it's from the pressure that the defense was bringing. And let's get one more. Ray Smith, he's a B. Not a perfect game, but second best showing as a Brown. Room for some improvement, but the arm looked good. So I personally was happy with the performance. So we'll get to some more of your comments and thoughts here in a moment. We will definitely get to that coming up here in a second. Well, I'll tell you this. We talked about the defense a little bit. We did talk about the defense a little bit. When I get back, we're going to let you know, is the defense back and ready to go? And I'm going to tell you the secret to the dominance of the defense. It's not Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith. I'm going to tell you who really stirs the pot for the Cleveland Browns. You're listening to the Barber Shop on the UCSS YouTube channel. Big announcement. The Barbershop is sponsored by Honda Great Lakes West. Man, shout out to Honda Great Lakes West. My man Sullivan Rogers, he's that guy. Listen, let me tell you about this, man. If you don't have anything on your credit report, if you got a job, you're working 40 hours a week, you got slow pay, you got information, you don't got any credit built up, This is the place for you to go. Right now, if you have all of those things, you can walk off the lot in a 2024 Honda over at Great Lakes Honda West in Elyria. Great showroom floor, great salespeople. Sullivan, man, he's a great dude, and he specially works with people who have trouble getting vehicles. Hey, everybody doesn't establish credit the same way. Hey, when I went to college, I never had a credit card, never had anything in my name. So it's an advantage to work with somebody that can get you approved for a vehicle if you have some of those case scenarios. Shout out to them in Elyria. Go see my man Sullivan Rogers, and we love to be sponsored barbershop on the radio and on the digital side by Great Lake Honda West. All right, let's get back into this thing. Make sure you hit the like button on that boy. Hit the like button. Let's get to this. Is the Browns defense back to business? The Browns defense allowed 58 yards, right? And see, this is the thing that I try to tell people before. The reason why it's so hard for defenses sometimes is that I've played on bad offenses where we had young guys playing a quarterback. We've had a lot of different things that the quarterback wasn't able to do, wasn't able to stem plays. We knew that we were behind the eight ball. And when you're playing those type games, you put a lot of pressure on yourself not to give up certain big plays. You know, it's like a running count. Like you want to keep them under 20 points because you can't guarantee or count on the offense giving you that. I think Schwartz did a good job. I think he came back into this game and he pared it all the way down. I think he got back aggressive up front. I think they were getting gashed in terms of the read options. I think they were giving up way too many points, way too many yards per carry on the run game. And the thing that really sets the defense apart when they're playing great or when they're playing otherworldly. The Browns have Myles Garrett, and I think Denzel Ward is playing at an all-pro level. I think Denzel Ward is playing the best football that he's played here in Cleveland. But what really sets them apart is the defensive tackle. When you look at a guy like Shelby Harris, 2 tackles for loss, had the strip sack, 1.5 sacks, being in the backfield, starting the party off. Let's talk about how he set the tone, right? And usually it's been bouncing back around. And that's the great part about it. I remember being so frustrated a year ago. And this is just why sometimes, I don't like going back doing victory laps on people. But let's be clear. Last year when I was talking about defensive line, I got the nickname the Duke of Knee Jerk because I was so disturbed that they were planning on running out Taven Bryant and these other, they had guys on the team named Rochelle. I don't even know who these dudes are. And I say, you guys are you guys are comfortable rolling that out. You know how many people told me that in the game, talk about, well, the league around the league, they don't value defensive tackles. I'm looking around like, did you just make that up? Yeah, they don't value D tackles, G. Bush. They don't value linebackers either. And you see what happened. Fast forward to this year, look at the way the defensive line is playing. And look at the individuals that they brought in. The problem is they're free agents. I don't know if they can they actually understand how to scout and prepare and to develop defensive linemen. I'm just going to say that. But I'll give them credit. Maurice Hurst has been dominant this year. Shelby Harris has been dominant. His best game happened yesterday. Let's talk about Dalvin Tomlinson, 2.5 sacks, 3 sacks, depending on what publication. But come on, man. Them is D tackles. Defensive tackles don't get that. Defensive tackles ain't running around sacking quarterbacks. But you got Dalvin Tomlinson. Some people had the nerve to call that the most overrated move or the guy that got way too much money that ain't going to pay dividends. Are you serious? Zadarius Smith is now quietly put 2 games together, back-to-back sack games, right? And you already know what you're getting out of Myles Garrett. But the guy that has been showing and proving and holding up and really expanding his game, and this is what I love to see, Jordan Elliott. I was all over Jordan Elliott. Was all over him. So I was all over him last year. I thought he was a jag. I thought he was never going to play in this league. And this is the great thing about sports. And you're always going, and I do this all the time, and I pride myself on doing this. If I'm able to get on you, I don't care if I got on you 25, 35, 45 minutes or 2 days, 4 days, a whole 6 months. If you was playing bad, I'm going to say you was playing bad. But if you was playing good, I have a responsibility as a host and an analyst to say you have been playing your tail off. And I got to do it to the same level and the energy level at which I criticized you. And I got to do it publicly. I can't behind doors tear your name down and then say, when you ball out, you tell your friends in chats, yeah, man, low-key Jordan Elliott been balling. No, you got to come back with that same level of energy and be like, no, Jordan Elliott is playing his ass off. And that's my problem with a lot of people, man. Listen, it ain't no, like we ain't gambling on these games, bro. I want everybody in the Cleveland Browns jersey to play well. I want everybody to prosper and to do their thing. But you got to call a spade, and that man's been balling. He's aggressive. He's explosive off the ball. And when you get guys explosive and that big, moving that fast, disrupting plays, playing with passion, that's what makes the Cleveland Browns defense go. So Jordan Elliott has been playing his tail off. And I have to say this, I'm not talking about the D-line. I got to say this as well. And here's the thing. When somebody get hurt, I don't like to talk about their play. Let me talk about this, man. Jedric Wills. Jed Wills. Everybody knows I've been pointing Jed Wills pointing out plays, pointing out different things that he's been doing. Not so good in offensive line play. But let me say this. My heart goes out to Jed Wills. I'm glad it's only an MCL tear. Kevin Stefanski said it's an MCL. We'll be back this season. I'm going to give Jed Wills credit. Because here's the thing. No matter how bad you play, how poorly you play, the one thing I can always identify being a former player is this. That's the loneliest place in the world. When you put all that time, energy, effort into building your body, going into your craft, and you sitting there and somebody telling you potentially either your career could be over, your season is over, or you're not going to be able to take part in what you love doing. And when you see Jedric Wills be that emotional, it tugs at your heart because you've been there. I've been on that same cart with that same immobilizer. And they've told me ACL. They had told me I come back rehab. I've been on that cart. ACL, you're done for this year. I've been back on that cart. PCL. I'd have been on, listen, they herniated disc in the back, 3 herniated disc in the neck, rod in the big toe. So this isn't about me. It's about, I just want to let you know that even though you may say these guys is out here playing and they getting all this money and they don't really care, just go tell Jedric Wills he don't care. That type of emotion, rich people that got everything, that don't really want nothing in life, they don't react like that when they get hurt. So my thoughts go out to Jed Wills. Hope he gets back. And I must say that he was playing better than he was playing before the season as he started going. As the season went on, you started seeing less and less penalties. He's been doing a good job in the run game. So shout out to Jed Wills. I just want to throw that out there and say that as well. All right. Let's get to some of your comments. Let's get to some of these comments. Rafter Irving, G. Bush, I'll be having your videos playing in the rooms in people's houses and forcing them to listen. They walk in and hear the TV volume on LeBron, and then you talking that talk. Listen, I got to talk like this. I have to talk like this because I don't like fraudulent people. I don't like fraudulent people, and I don't like dishonest people. I don't like that. Because I've been on the opposite end of the spectrum. Right? That's why I don't got no problems. If Baker Mayfield, a lot of this game, Baker Mayfield was out there playing, I said, man, that's a nice drive. More than anything, I'm a student of the game. I love the game of football. I love the X's and O's. I love the dynamics. I love all of it. And so I'm married to what I'm saying, the analytics of it. I'm married to what I see on the screen. I've seen these games 3-4 times. And even when I go back and watch all 22, I still find different things that I caught, or different things that I learned about, or different things that I didn't know. I was up late 2-3 days ago learning about coverages, because I just wanted to know more. Like, I really, like, there's guys in the industry that do it well. Jay Burns does a great job. If you don't know, go out and check the Orange and Brown report. A lot of these other guys, they don't be putting the homework in, man. It's okay if you go watch other people. You know how much stuff I take from other hosts and analysts that I appreciate? I think Jay Burns breaks the game down beautifully. I watch his breakdown to see the cross-reference. Am I tripping? Am I on? I love the game of football, man. And I'm never gonna mess my integrity up because I feel like I don't like a person. Look, I told you, there's no like to like. We don't hang out. We don't drink beers. We don't go to birthday parties together. We don't eat cake and ice cream together. Guess what? I could be objective. You was balling today. You was balling yesterday. You was terrible the other day. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. Salute to you. I respect you. Get your money. Let me get this off here so I can see y'all's comments. Defense must shut Lamar down. Hey, listen. Hey, Black Play Games, I see what you're saying. I see. Listen, you already done got your mind ready to go to next week. Hey, you like, I like what he's talking about, but we got to get ready to next week. Rob Bargnani, preach, CB. Haters gonna hate. Hey, listen, hey, Creative Juice, heck yeah, you can ask for that extra special G Bush hookup. You supposed to, if you go out there, listen, let me tell you something. I'm telling you this. You go out, the Honda, Great Lakes Honda, the first thing you're supposed to say is, I heard G Bush on every platform bigging this up. So you better give me a discount. You better give me that hookup. Come on now. That's why I'm sending you out there. Listen, I've never participated in the Dustin hookup, but I'll take his word for it. But there is a hookup. Honda is the new Maserati. Oh, man. Martin says if the offensive line can give us 5 good seconds to get his foot set, he can move downfield. I definitely see that. Definitely. You're about to lose me if you call in Trump a predator, dude. My guy, you're about to lose me if you're calling. But here's what I'm saying. Let me actually listen. I'm just comparing, I'm comparing facts. If people telling me that a person who is a predator, right? That they're safe to say he's a predator, but has not been convicted of anything, right? If you're saying that he could be saying that said about him, then the same could be said about the highest position in the world. And anything that I'm telling you like this is this. Anybody can say anything about you and it can stick. At some point in time, some people gonna have to have the receipts shown. Like when you say that you're gonna call me a predator, and I got my mom looking at me, I got my family, my grandmother, I done put in a lot of work out here. I need you to have the receipts. It's too easy to say, well, all I'm doing is showing you the mirror of society. And like I said before, that goes from everybody. I didn't see it happen. I didn't see it with Supreme Court justice happen. We just saw it. I'm like, dang, y'all, did you talk about something that happened 35 years ago? At the end of the day, whether you're a football player, whether you're a baseball player, a politician, clergy, whatever the case may be, everybody deserves to have their name cleared in the event that somebody makes some crazy allegations. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, the same pause that you got right here, if you said calling Trump that, you should have the same pause for Deshaun Watson. That was cold. I like that. I'm going to end on that. Let's end on that. We got 10 minutes left to go. I was like, I thought that was great. But let me tell you about this, though. If you want to know where you can get your hair cut, if you want to know where I get my hair cut, call Jason, my man Jason at Phenomenal Barbershop. You can call to book an appointment today. You mess around and get that thing started. 216-385-8861. Nice local area. It's in Lakewood. Very quiet, professional. You can book it. He has the TV, surround sound. You can watch the game. Very, very family friendly. You know, they don't allow a lot of cursing. It's a mixed crowd. There's black people, white people, men, women. They cut everybody's hair. It's one of the best experiences you can know, and it's where G. Bush gets his haircut. Call my man Jason at Phenomenal Barber Shop. All right, here we go. I told you I was giving this out as well. We will be announcing on Thursday the winner of this, right? We gave out two on my other channel, 2 Kool-Aid Mafia Orange Crush hoodies, right? We talking about those, right? Guess what? I'm gonna give you impromptu. Hit me up right now at gbush91@hotmail.com with the word preach, PREACH, in the description, preach in the subject line, and I'm gonna randomly raffle off 2 of these Kool-Aid Mafia hoodies right there. Boom, you see it. You see it right there. The Orange Crush is out and it's available. You can get that today. Hit me up. gbush91@hotmail.com. Put preach in there. If you do it by 12 o'clock tonight, when you're seeing this, I'm going to raffle off 2 Orange Crush hoodies. 2. You'll have those ready to go by the time Pittsburgh is around here. We'll try to have them by Pittsburgh. I can't guarantee that because we got a lot of suppliers. But like I said, hit me up. We're going to give away 2 of those. Shout out to everybody who was watching UCSS and they got to 1,000 views over there. That's why I'm giving them off today. Get yours. And if you can't get yours and if you're not lucky enough to win, you can always go to bushlinebeauty.com/barbershop, bushlinebeauty.com/barbershop. And guess what you get? 15% off your first order. Make it happen. Make it happen. All right, really quickly. We got a couple minutes here. We want to ask you a Q&A. We're going to get to you guys Q&A. Chances the Browns beat the Ravens. You know, I talked about it opening up in the opening monologue. The Cleveland Browns have an opportunity to beat the Baltimore Ravens. I think they got to play very well defensively. Baltimore is playing out of their minds right now. They put something crazy on the Seattle Seahawks. Lamar Jackson looks like he's going to be an MVP candidate throughout this year. You know, they just came off another win where I'm trying to think who they beat. They beat the Lions handily. Too. So Baltimore, they already got the game here. That was the DTR game. Now we talk about going to Baltimore and having an opportunity to be in first place in the AFC North if we can get that win. I think the defense has to play well. I think Deshaun Watson has to play clean football. And by the way, y'all better start giving Pierre Strong some more touches, my man. Pierre Strong is that deal. Pierre Strong should be, to me, I think he's in the. I think it should be Pierre Strong and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, goal line and short distances. Pierre Strong, I like his vision, his cutback ability. I like the way he puts his foot in the ground. To me, Jerome Ford tiptoes and break dances too much in the backfield. We can't have that against Baltimore and Pittsburgh coming up. We can't have it. Cannot have it. So who do you got? What are the chances the Browns beat the Ravens? Give me a percentage. I want the percentage. Give me the percentage and why. And we'll get to your comments and get to some of your questions as we got about, let's see. We got about, I want to say about 5-10 more minutes left in here. We started a little late. We had to upload some stuff. 5-10 more minutes. Who do you got? Who do you got in terms of the percent chance the Browns winning again in Baltimore? And how do they go about doing that? The reason I believe that they do got an opportunity to win this game is because the Browns defense had that tune-up. Now they understand in that tune-up game, this is the energy and intensity that we need to be bringing as a baseline to be competitive. Deshaun Watson had a tune-up game. He wasn't perfect. He wasn't out here throwing the ball like he's the second coming of Brady or Manning. But he showed you that he had 3 throws that was elite. 3 throws that you haven't seen completed around here. The first one, Jake Burns had a very good clip on Twitter. This ball was snuck in between 2 and 3 people on the sideline to Amari Cooper. It was zipped. Another one is that one where he ripped on the sideline, that 50-yard ball in the air. He just turned it loose. It was on a rope. And then the deep ball at the end of the game, when he stepped up in the pocket, put that loft on it. And the great thing about that is, evidently, Amari Cooper and him have been talking on the sidelines like, oh, they got double coverage the way that this corner is playing. I can split the 2 of them. Throw it to me. I got you. Beautiful pass. Beautiful pass. As a matter of fact, let me see if I still got this. Let me see this. Let me see if I got it. You got it, G-Boy? There it is. There it is. That's that beautiful pass right there. 2 of them caught y'all slipping. Beautiful pass. For me, I said, oh, that's one of them throws. Oh, that's one of them throws. Oh, that's one. And here's what got it there. That's how you can tell, boys and girls. See that arm angle? That's how you can tell he's starting to get back comfortable. You see that? That arm angle 3-4 weeks ago, he'd have never got that off. He'd have never got that off. That shows you a person that's ready to let it rip with a guy coming free a little bit with Joe Batonio right there. That's what I like to see. I like to see the progression in that. I definitely like to see this. And here's the thing, too. Here's how you know that he's ready to play a little bit and he's excited about what he's doing, is the fact that you get this. I use this in my thumbnail. The fact that you get this situation right here. See, as an athlete, there's sometimes what you need to do is you need to bank enough successes in your life. You need to bank enough successes. It's the same way you work on this microphone. See, a lot of people could agree or disagree with you, but one of the things that happened that you got to respect a professional is they could drop me anywhere in the world and I'll do 4 hours. No notes. I don't write nothing. Write nothing. Listen, where my notepad at? I don't need to. You don't need to rehearse what's in your heart. You know what it is. So you could drop me in Spain. I could do a show. I could be in Antarctica doing a show. I could be at a party at a Muni lot with a bunch of speakers. I could do that show because I've done it before and I can always bank on that. So I'm not rattled. You're not going to rattle me. Same thing with an athlete. Deshaun Watson, he didn't have nothing banked for 2 years. He didn't see, it's been so long that he didn't see himself be successful against top-notch performers. That's one thing about sitting out. That's one thing about not having the rust knocked off. It's a lot about mechanics and all those things, but it's also about the swag, the inner energy, that bravado that says I'm the best out there. And as a quarterback, you got to think you're the best in the world. You got to think I'm one of the best 32 at throwing this football in the entire universe right now. And unless you don't believe that, and unless you don't play that way, there's no way that you could beat top-notch athletes that is coming after you trying to knock your head off. And Deshaun Watson, to me, this point says, hey, I heard y'all. I heard what you've been saying about me. I heard what you've been dragging my name. And I already know that I replaced the last guy that was beloved here. I understand who he was. I still understand what kind of cachet he got today. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm that dude too. And one day, I'm going to put enough plays together that you're going to see. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but I'm just trying to show you it's in there. And that's the thing that people get excited about. That's when your teammates start running harder. That's when receivers lay out to catch the football because they know what the possibilities are. If you don't think the Cleveland Browns are excited about having number 4 behind center against Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers are coming up, you're crazy. If you don't think it's night and day between what P.J. Walker can offer and this guy can offer, you're crazy. And at the end of the day, I respect everybody and I respect everybody how they moving. But listen, Either get on the train or get off. Either step on or step off. Listen, you could come back on later. We accept fair weather fans. But at the end of the day, is you down or no? See, that's part of what the Kool-Aid Mafia is. The Kool-Aid Mafia says, I'm always down. I ain't never about to just skip out. I don't care who they put at quarterback. I may not like him. I may not understand him. He may not even identify with me. But as long as you got that jersey on, we drinking the Kool-Aid. That's what it's about. I was at the Muni lot. Man, like I was. It touched my heart it's a lot of people on Twitter saying a lot of dumb stuff, but you know what I respect the most? When I was down at the Muni lot there was people out there for far as the eye could see. And you know what it was about? It was about community. It was about being down there, representing, supporting each other. I see black, white, girls, Asians, people from South America. A guy from Germany came up to me. People invited me on their buses. They fed me. They gave me drinks. We would hang out. We was playing cornhole. It was a beautiful experience. One thing I didn't hear from none of them down there was about no wins and losses. That's crazy. Not once did I hear nothing about no wins and losses. It was all about the experience and all about what it means to be a Cleveland Browns fan. And that changed the way I think about stuff a little bit. When people get negative, I can't put all fans in one box. They might just be the loud dudes. They got Twitter accounts. I ain't see nobody in that Muni lot on Twitter. They was living it. See, it's the difference between you thumb thugging and living it. And it's a bunch of happy people that lived, that enjoyed, that told me so many great stories. And I was just excited and happy to be down there. I hadn't been down there in 12 years. Hadn't been down there. I'm sorry I got on a tangent. I'm sorry. I told you I was not going to do that. Sorry. We go a little long sometime. Let me get your question and answer. She was doing the DJ envy on us. Nope. I ain't look. Listen, don't give me your, there's a reason why they'd be like, do you want to represent my charity? Nope. I don't know what your charity does. Hey, he got some allegations too. What you mean? Sleepy Joe, he got some allegations too. That's what I'm saying. Look, I got that Dustin hookup once. It was like 50 off of 1K. But it's something. Hey, look, it's something. It's something. Pee-wee's Burnt Pizza says, what's the best plan of attack against Lamar? Keep him contained in the pocket because he looks good in the pocket. Look, I think you are who you are when you got here. I think the Browns' best attack is attack. And, their best plan of attack should be continuing to attack. Now, is it going to be hard to keep Lamar on the ground or get him down? Heck yeah. Zay Flowers scares me. Mark Andrews scares me a little bit. But you got to get him down on the ground. You can't let him run around and extend plays. And I think they got to do a good job of spying him with JOK. Terrell Glenn says Miles needs to have a career game. He needs to strike fear in the heart of Lamar. Yes, indeed. I think he needs to have one of those games. And I think the defense might need to score a touchdown. Defense might need to call it, might need to have a touchdown. Let's see. Let me see this real quick. Jason cuts hair? No, that ain't Jason Lloyd. Peacock says it's less about race with Deshaun Watson and more about honoring cancel culture. As you can see, I try to be thought provoking, right? I try to be thought provoking. I brought up Trump, who's a white guy. I brought up Duke Lacrosse because those guys happen to be white and accused by a black woman. I brought up Trevor Bauer, who's white. He's a pitcher playing a predominantly white sport. I also brought up Deshaun Watson, the kicking punt guy. I think he's He's Spanish, of Spanish descent. What I try to do is offer you some things to make you think a little bit. And at the end of the day, it don't got to be about race. I even brought up Brett Kavanaugh. He is a Supreme Court justice. So I've given you all walks of life. The tone is, before you doing predator stuff, just really pump your brakes sometimes. That's what it's about. I'm good, sir. I don't need to hear any conspiracy theories today. Maybe some other time. I think he was talking about somebody in the chat. Let me see my conspiracy theories. I'm gonna say, preach. I'm in here. He said, they're not conspiracy. They're spoilers. See, y'all dirty. Why y'all always be arguing with each other? Vernell Jackson, 60%. We are due to beat Baltimore. I like that, Vernell. 65% because the dog pound is coming for blood. Do not demonetize me. 60%. Brody's bottom line. I like that. 60%. I like that. We doing the 60% today? 65%. Dorian Rucker gives it 100%, right? Let's see. Ravens will, shout out to James Cosby for the super chat. Ravens will suffer a letdown versus a fired up Cleveland Browns team. Upset time. It's very hard for those teams to play very, very good for, I would say, 3, 4, 5 games in a row. It's difficult to play that way, but the Ravens have been doing it. They just have been doing it. Stephen Waldman, I hope the tweeters are never accused of some sexual crime and are innocent. You will be roasted by your peers in the media. Think about that before you rush to judgment on someone. I try to do, even the people that I don't even agree with. I don't like, there's certain things you can't say to somebody or call somebody that. It's just, you can't do it. Can't get it done. Let's go. Rafter Irving. 75-25 was 50-50, but Deshaun Watson is feeling himself again. If you've been watching, it's like a fighter who has to be hit, then he's ready to play. Who was the defensive player that always had to be slapped? I forget. I think it was defensive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings. Oh my goodness, I keep forgetting his name. It's gonna irk me. It's gonna irk me. Let's get 2 more in here. Sounds great. Hope that you're right. My money is definitely on the Browns. Have to great victory Monday. 6-3 drink. Mel L says, you know what it is. Leonte, Browns fans supposed to be loyal, of course. Jay says F Twitter. People don't know. People still use that. And one last one here. Let's see. Let's get one more in here. There it is. John Randall. Ohio Hawk, thank you. It was John Randall. Yes, indeed. We appreciate you guys, man. With that being said, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you watch out. Coming up, Behind the Glasses coming up here on Wednesday. Make sure you guys check that out. Coming up on Thursday, we will be doing a full-blown preview of the Baltimore Ravens. You don't want to miss it. We're going to get into some X's and O's. We're going to do a deep dive into some things like that. So make sure you check us out on Thursday. As always, in those winners, we will also announce the 2 winners from our hoodie giveaway. And as always, you can catch those at bushlinebeauty.com/barbershop. With that being said, G. Bush, the barbershop is a mythical place. It ain't real. I don't really be cutting hair, but it's about sports, music, and culture where you can get a fresh cut on all of the above. With that being said, you never know where I might show up at. Make sure you check it out. But you can always do one thing. If you really want to know where I'm at, just listen for the Clippers. Peace.